Hi there, and welcome to a quick tutorial on how to get started on your Unit 4 assignment. So for Unit 4, we're writing an apocalypse letter. It has two parts, and the first part is a graphic organizer. Now to start on this assignment, you will need to have character information first. You need a character assignment. If you forgot your character assignment, so if you need your character's occupation, age, and any other information that you would get assigned randomly, or you weren't in class to receive one on the 10th or the 11th, email me to get one. Okay, so from here we're going to start with the soapstone. Okay, and that's our rhetorical scenario. It's going to be the same for you as it is for me, except for the speaker. In the speaker's case, you're going to put in your character's name that you come up with based on what you want to do with your character and what info you get. So I got, for my example, I randomly drew a 41-year-old dentist with arthritis. So I think I'm going to name her Dr. Justine Martin. Now, your character, of course, will be named something different. From here, we have our occasion, which in this case is, of course, that we are in the middle of a pretend zombie apocalypse. Now, as for our audience, the 411 on this is that we're writing to Dr. Yoyevich and his selection committee in order to persuade them to select our character to receive a cure and live in the survivor community to help bring back the human race. Okay. As for our subject, of course, it's going to be why I, Dr. Martin, or whoever your character is, deserves to be chosen to basically survive. We're writing for our lives here. So in this case, the tone is going to be pretty serious. We might also want to seem optimistic or positive. We want to seem competent, strong, right? We want our attitude good so that we are more likely to be picked. Imagine if you're trying to select a good candidate. You want to pick one who probably seems like they're taking it seriously and knows what they're doing. All right, so after we've got the soapstone, we're going to go ahead on down to the introduction. This is where I'm going to put down my character's first and last name. So in this case, my character's name I made up is Justine Martin. I got to pick this. She's a dentist. What I didn't get to pick is that she's 41 years old and she is a dentist with rheumatoid arthritis. So I'm going to type that in. As for my character's background, this is where I kind of get to add some things that make sense for my character, right? Keep them in the realm of possibility, no magic powers, but perhaps my character's dad was a dentist. And my character used to volunteer her time at a homeless shelter, giving out free dental services. That'll make me look pretty caring. So from here, I want to think about why my character would be a great addition to the survivor community. So what can she bring to the table to help replenish the human race in a society where we're starting over again in a lot of ways from scratch? Well, for starters, I can do dental work. That's not something a lot of people will have knowledge of. There won't be a lot of dentists around anymore. I also could probably do basic first aid being a dentist and maybe CPR, which would make me useful. Finally, maybe I can teach. I have a very valuable skill, so maybe I can teach others to perform dentistry. when I get old and can't do it anymore. Okay, so there's my skills. I'll give you a minute. Think about your character and what they could do. All right, let's go ahead now and talk through the counterclaims. So there are going to be reasons why your character might not be fit to join the new society, and you want to address those weaknesses ahead of time. So for my character, maybe I would say, some might say that she's unfit to join the new society because I'm older, I'm 41, and I have arthritis. Now, I have to think about, how do I speak back to these? How do I rebut these claims? Right? That I'm older, that I have arthritis, so I'm less fit. Well, first off, I can't make myself younger, but I can kind of speak back to this. So maybe I could say something like, I still have probably 30 to 40 good years left in me. That's a long time. And I'm wiser and have rare and valuable skills that many younger candidates likely don't have. Okay. Now my second weakness, I have arthritis, but I can still teach. Even if my joints get too bad to continue working. Maybe I could also say I manage my condition in various ways as well. Maybe with herbal remedies, medicines, and stretching. Okay, so I've talked back to my weaknesses. Now I just need, in my own words, to thank the committee for their time and consideration. So just in my own words, I'm going to say something like, thanks for taking the time to consider my letter. I hope to hear back from you soon. Short and sweet. Now, it's time to apply some rhetoric. This is our secret sauce. We want to practice using some of these rhetorical techniques we've been learning in Unit 4. So we're going to pick 3, right? Any 3 that we like. And we're going to show how we would use them in our letter so that we can slide them in later. So for my dentist, I'm not really sure where to start. I'm going to go to the Unit 4 Dropbox and download the Unit 4 assignment help slides, where I can look at some examples of some different rhetorical techniques and how to use them. I can see they're color-coded, and I have some really good examples here. So let's say I want to use the anecdote, maybe the rhetorical question, and maybe the cause and effect. Okay, so I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to put those in. So anecdote, I want to use the rhetorical question, and then let's say the cause and effect. Now, I actually want to write them out the way that I would put them in my letter, which means I need to be my dentist for a little bit and write these like I'm speaking from her point of view. So an anecdote is a small story. Here's one possible example. When I was a dental student, I successfully identified a potentially deadly tooth infection in a local elementary school student and helped him get treatment before it was too late. So I'm telling the story of what my dentist did to make her look heroic. I'm going to put it down in here just like I would write it in my letter. Now how about my rhetorical question? Well, a rhetorical question is a question we ask not to get an answer. One question I have is, who hasn't needed a dentist at some point in his or her life? Pretty much everyone. So a good little bit of logos there. And then finally, cause and effect. So what we're basically saying with cause and effect is, if you choose me, what will your character bring? I will help the community by providing dental care, general medical support, and education. Okay, so that's what I'm going to bring. What will your character bring if you want to use cause and effect? If you choose me, what will happen? So there's how we use the rhetorical techniques. Now to fill out this final piece, I want to have picked 2 rhetorical appeals, but fortunately I've already done that by choosing my rhetorical techniques. So if I look back at the help slides, I can see the anecdote. It's a small story, and in your notes that you have from earlier in the unit or looking at the chart, we know that this is an emotional appeal. It's meant to touch on our readers' emotions. So I'm going to say that I used pathos. How did I use it? By including an anecdote. Now, rhetorical question and cause and effect are logos appeals. They use logic. So I'm going to put that down too. And there we have it. I'm all done and ready to write my letter. If you want to use these and change them to work with your character, you totally can. You won't have a dentist, you'll have someone else. Think about what they can bring to the table. Write it from their point of view. That way, when it's time to write your letter, you'll be all set. When you're done with your graphic organizer, make sure to save it in a place where you can find it again by hitting that Save button at the top. Then you're going to want to go to your English class, click on Tools at the top, and then select Assignments. From there, click into Unit 4 assignment, Persuasive Apocalypse Letter. It's time to cash in those first 25 points. I'm going to scroll on down, maybe even check the rubric. Right? I'm looking for accuracy and that you completed the graphic organizer correctly. So check it out and make sure you did both things. Scroll down until you see Submit Assignment, hit Add a File, go to My Computer, and hit Upload. Select your file, hit Add. If it comes up in blue, check the name, make sure it's the correct one. If you need to add a comment, you can, but it's not necessary. And finally, hit Submit. From there, you're ready to work on your letter and turn that in to get the rest of your credit. I hope that this helped you. If you need anything else, office hours is available at 2:30 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays, all the way up through 3:15 p.m. Come in even if you have a quick question, or email me and I'll be happy to help you out. Have an awesome day!